All right, so let's hope this works again. We are going to discuss many things. All right, so let's see. Let's hope we are going live on multiple platforms right now. Again, we are on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Hopefully, Instagram works today. It has not worked in a couple of days, so I do not know what's going on there. And we are also on TikTok. So when I look at you guys, that's where I see the chat, and that's where I see everybody but TikTok. And when I look there, it's TikTok. That does not mean I'm excluding any of you or I'm ignoring any of you. So while you are pressing on those chat boxes and asking questions, I will be talking about certain things that could happen, okay, when you have the option of filing for more than one application. So we are talking about filing multiple applications. And how many can you file? Is there a limit? Is there a limit to what you can or cannot do? And it's going to be very general, but we are still going to try to address your questions. Hi, on TikTok, I see Nas joined us. Thanks. Great. All right. So any questions you guys have on immigration matters, please feel free to put them in the chat and I will address them as fast as I can in the order in which I get them. If you see that I'm ignoring it, it's not I'm ignoring it. I probably skipped it by mistake or I didn't get to it yet. So please feel free to put your questions in the chat. So what I'm going to address today is going to be how many immigration applications you can file at once. And this is particularly important today because TPS Venezuela and TPS Haiti and Yemen actually were just renewed. Venezuela is brand new. Haiti is a brand new Haitian program. And people are asking if you can have TPS and you can get a work permit through TPS while you have the asylum pending. So yes, generally you can. Okay, so it is very rare that you cannot file more than one application. So in general, if your asylum is pending, you can also file for TPS. And actually, best practices say you should file for both, okay? Why? TPS, it's a temporary program. It's temporary for the duration of time that the government designated, okay? So Dave, ask your question, okay? And I'll get to your question. You just telling me you have a question doesn't help. Give me a lot more detail and I'll get to that. And I'll get to you guys on YouTube in a second. Great. So let me just finish this train of thought. Temporary protective status, TPS. So there are plenty of people on TPS, Venezuela, El Salvador, Haiti, Venezuela, and so on. Those people are on temporary protected status. That means for the duration of time that the government designates or the government renews for. Some people on TPS El Salvador, for example, it's been going on for over 20 years. It is still a temporary protection. So while you are protected from deportation during that period of time, you also first you have to qualify, so no criminal matters and so on. You can also have another application pending. For example, you can have an asylum application pending. An asylum, if granted, will lead to permanent residency, whereas a TPS application will not. Why do you want both? Because one is temporary, one can lead to permanent status. The work permit on one might be faster than the other, and so on. Okay? So, Robin is asking on YouTube. Let's go to her question first, and I'll get to you guys on TikTok in just a second, all right? Robin says, I currently have a work permit with TPS and a pending U visa. So will they issue a bona fide work permit from U visa if approved, regardless of me having EAD from TPS already? you have EID with TPS and you have a pending U visa. Do you really need to get another work permit? It doesn't matter what category it is on. It's still a work permit. If you prefer to pursue, yes, you can have both, theoretically speaking. And yes, they will issue another one. But you have to disclose to them on the application that, yes, I have a different work permit on a different code. They will not, they might say you have it, it's lasting longer. Now, the latest regulation says that the work permits are being issued for 2 years, okay? It is in very limited categories that it's issued for less than that. So if you do have a work permit for that, why is it that you need another work permit? Remember, just because you can apply for a work permit doesn't necessarily mean you should apply for a work permit. You might want to just apply for TPS, but keep your work permit under the U visa. Those seems to be moving a little bit faster. You also are asking if a U visa applicant gets bona fide work permit, then is it able to get the advanced parole as well? Yes, but be very careful with that, because if you're getting a temporary protective status, okay, there is a protection for a certain reason, okay, because it is so bad home that you shouldn't be living there. Okay, in cases of asylum, while your asylum is pending, for example, you do not want to go back home and visit, because you're killing your asylum application. If you're saying it's so bad in Venezuela, why would you travel to Venezuela? And I'm not joking, I just had a consult on this, okay? Why would you travel back to Venezuela when you're applying for asylum from Venezuela? You're saying you're persecuted, then you are going back. In your case, with a U visa and with TPS could be a little bit different, but I don't know enough about your situation to give you more than that. I advise all my clients, I'll get you the advanced parole, but I'm still going to tell you not to travel, okay? I filed married with citizen adjustment of status, came in 2009 with transit, not crewman C1 visa, good. Got my work permit and social. Went to interview, nice officer, I-130, approved case must be reviewed. Will they approve? I don't know. I don't have enough information about your case, your entry, or anything to be able to tell you will they approve or not. Would I approve? That's a different story. So everybody says, well, can you guarantee that this is going to be approved based on this specific fact pattern? No. I cannot. First, I am not the one making the decision. It's the officer who makes the decision. And while they are supposed to make the decision based on law, the decisions are highly discretionary and subjective. So literally speaking, I'm answering your question right now, Kellogg's fan, okay? Literally speaking, they can do whatever the hell they want, okay? That being said, okay, if those are all the facts, you should be able to. Generally speaking, with a C1D, and I understand it's transit and not crew member, you may still not be able to adjust. So if your attorney filed a brief with them and explained the circumstances of you entering with the transit visa, okay, and proving how you entered, okay, then you should be able to get approved. Officers don't know all the intricacies of the C1D visa. They don't understand beginning the contract, the end of contract, have you fulfilled the terms of the contract. They don't go into any of that, and especially they don't know the difference between crew or transit, okay? So you're giving them too much credit. They might do a request for evidence. They might send you a notice of intent to deny, which you should appeal. You should respond to. If there is a decision that says a denial, then you should appeal. Okay, so let's go over to TikTok for a bit, because we do not want to ignore you guys. All right, so I got the question. Okay, Dave, tell me about the question. Hi, Faye. Hi, Mogadishu. Which month can I apply for the lottery visa? I just had a TikTok on that, actually. If they are going to reopen the diversity visa lottery for year 2023, the application period will start in October. Okay, so it does start in October. I actually posted the government's website there, and you just have to keep up to date on that and keep going there and see when they open. Dave, so you started online in fall 2020 because of COVID. Okay, I still don't see your question. All right. Safe travels holiday. Okay, I'm glad you're finding this funny. Tell me what it is so we can laugh with you, all right? Good, awesome. All right, so I see a question on YouTube. If a minor that was abandoned by one of their parents and is here illegally, not from any TPS country, any other options? Yes. And I'm assuming you are asking this question because you already looked into it, because you have the certain language in there that tells me you looked into it. Yes. If we have an unaccompanied minor or someone under the age of 18 who is already in the United States, most of them could have been here since they were 2, 3, 4, 5, or just entered recently, a year ago, 2 years ago. If they are here with one parent and the other parent abandoned them here or abroad, they would generally be eligible to apply, okay, for special immigrant juvenile status, okay? SIJS or CJS, depends on who you talk to. So yes, while that is an excellent program, there is certain criteria that must be met. Abandoning by one of their parents is one of them. There is a specific court order that must be issued by the family court or the probate court in your state, depending on where you are. And then there is an application process with USCIS. You have to remember, though, that child will not be able to petition for a parent after they have their papers. Okay, so hopefully that helps you. So Dave, you went to the embassy, but they refused the visa, even though you're already 1 year into your MBA. I don't understand why I was refused, even if the fact that you are already halfway done with school, they do not care. They were closed during COVID. They've been closed for about 1.5 years. And the fact that they actually refused you right now at least says that they have moved. A refusal, it's not a denial. You need to find out why did they refuse. They should have told you, the officer should have told you, why were you refused? That you should have gotten a paper that says under section whatever, you were refused. If you want, we can help you by looking at that paper, determining a course of action, and seeing how that can be moved from being refused. Maybe you just need a waiver, maybe you need other things, okay? Or maybe you just need to reapply. So we can help you with that, okay? I understand you are here. Now, you have to remember one thing. If you applied as a change of status in the United States, it is a little bit different than you having applied for the visa out at the consulate, okay? So you said you already started school here, but you did it online. Did you start the school in the U.S. by physically being in the U.S.? You also said you went to the consulate. So I'm assuming you registered for school, you started school, and you are still abroad. All those things make a huge difference, okay? I can try to help you if you want. Give us a call or find an experienced immigration attorney in your area to help you out. By the way, guys, we are located in South Florida, for those of you who don't know. But we help people everywhere make the United States their permanent home. We have clients right now in 46 U.S. states and quite some countries abroad. Hi, good morning from Fiji. When can we apply for the green card? Is there a certain date? Based on the diversity visa lottery, the deadline is actually online. I just did a TikTok on when can you apply and how can you apply for the diversity lottery. It has the actual official website there, and that's where the dates are going to be, okay? Because it really depends on your DV date and your selection date, okay? So go do it, all right? The problem is right now they were delayed. They haven't processed diversity visa lotteries. There was litigation involved on that, court cases, and so on. So, all right, let's see if I missed any questions since then. I know, Dave, I know you don't understand why you were refused. I need a lot more information than that. Maybe you want to send me the refusal, okay? So, okay, great. So you'll have, okay. So about the minor that was abandoned by the parents, not from TPS. Yes. give us a call. Don't always assume that TPS is the only option, okay? TPS is not the only option. In this case, for example, this lady, Alexandra, was asking about a child being abandoned by one of the parents. Special immigrant juvenile, it's a great option, but it will not solve the issue for the one parent that the child still has, okay? So then, we are talking today about having more than one application pending with the government. We just had a consultation with someone that we have held in the past who had no options before, and they gave us a call, and we scheduled a consultation. I met with them earlier today, and they actually have two options available now. They had zero over the past 6 years, no options, and now they have two. Sadly, the person was robbed at gunpoint, so they are definitely eligible for a U visa. They were seriously injured, and they did help law enforcement with finding the perpetrator, who ended up actually killing someone after this person was shot. And they also were married to a permanent resident who totally abused them. So this person all of a sudden has two options. So just because you have met with an immigration attorney in the past, or someone who has told you you don't have options, that does not mean you do not have options today. It changes quite a bit, all right? So your options may change depending on your country's circumstances, political climate in the United States, changes in law in the United States, changes in your immigration status. For example, you could have had visa, you no longer have a visa, you had a visa, now you have a petition approved, changes in your marital status, changes in your criminal record, if any. So just because 6 months ago a lawyer told you, no, you don't have options, or the omnipresent Google told you you don't have options, doesn't mean you don't have options. Or just because you had options before doesn't mean you still have options today. So always stay up to date, and even when remotely something changes in your situation, please go and see an immigration attorney. It's a small price to pay, all right? So Cornelius, hi, from Cameroon, presently living in UAE. I want to move to the USA. Okay, so when you say move, okay, let's address that really quick, okay? So when you say move to the USA, you mean living permanently in the US. Generally speaking, and there are more options than this, but generally speaking, there are 5 ways to get permanent residency in the United States. One of them is the diversity visa lottery, but you need to make sure your country is eligible. And I do have a TikTok on that. Since you're on TikTok, I'll tell you about it. And then we have 4 other options. One is investment, especially if we have a treaty with your home country. Then we have employment options. If you qualify, if somebody offers you a job in the United States and they are willing to petition for you to come to the United States, either temporarily or permanent basis, the higher the degree, the easier it is going to be for you to come here. However, there are seriously other options available as well, such as truck drivers, okay, or nurses or maids or whatever it is. It really depends, au pairs, okay? And then we have the option to apply for asylum once you are in the United States. So obviously this is not an option for you. And then if you have any family members who are US citizens or permanent residents, they should be able to petition for you. It really depends on the type of relationship. So Cornelius, I hope that gives you a startup point to do your research. Or if you want more options that are personalized to you, give us a call and we can book a consultation and talk to you. Omariba, where can one get fully funded scholarship to study in the United States? Oh, hi, Steve, from Kenya. Well, I do not know where to get fully funded scholarships. That has nothing to do with immigration. You actually have to look into perhaps a J1 program, which is an exchange program for foreign students as well, for training purposes. Or if you want to study in the United States, while they may give you scholarship, you still need to be able to prove to the consular officer at the consulate that you can pay your cost of living and support yourself while you are here and going to school. Okay? All right. I am DV 2021 selected. Awesome. My case number 59,000, and I don't have my interview yet. Can you help me? Not based on this information. If you want, we can look at it once you send it to us fully, and we have the actual paper and your selection letter. Okay? All right, let's see. Can you apply when you are in Ghana? Hi, McCoy official. Can you apply when you're in Ghana? Can you apply for what? People can apply for diversity visa lottery. They can apply for permanent residency, for temporary visa. You can apply for almost anything from any country in the world. You just have to qualify. So to find out if you qualify, let's put it this way. There are 186 different visa types to the United States. 186. You need to talk to someone who can qualify you under one of them to be able to get the right answer. It is going very difficult for anyone on any social media to tell you what you can qualify for or not. There is another TikTok that I did actually, since I don't have any more chats on the other platforms, that's okay. There is a recent TikTok that I did that says, at a minimum, what is the information that immigration attorneys need to even determine if we should even continue the line of inquiry and talk to you further, because we will not have all the information. The more information you give us, the easier it is for us to help you out. And we do want to help. So, all right. Diva, thank you. My pleasure, Cornelius. Hope that helps. Visa lottery, please. Yes. So, McCoy, yes, you can apply for the visa lottery as long as the process is open. Okay. Generally speaking, it opens every October, and then you need to your country needs to be listed. Okay. Then, of course, you need to have at least a high school education to be able to qualify, and you meet all the other criteria. It's not a lot, and it's an easy application. You do not need to pay anyone to help you fill out the green card the lottery, the visa lottery, the entry for that. Once you do get selected, you should not proceed on your own. All right. All right, cool. Gil, I got divorced. My divorce degree will be next month, and my conditional green card will expire in August. Oh, Gail, we need to talk. If you're getting divorced while your conditional green card you're still on the conditional green card on the 2-year period, okay, and it expires in August. If you just got a divorce degree, you need to file, ideally, before your 2-year anniversary as a waiver petition, okay? And we can help you with that, because when you are getting divorced, and I had a live on this, maybe I'll do another one because there were a lot of questions on that one. What to do if you are getting divorced? It really depends on where exactly in the green card process you are. So, Gil, in your case, your conditional green card expires in August. If you do not file with your spouse, since you got divorced, you cannot file with your spouse, you need to file a waiver petition. And for that, you have 3 options, okay? And you can file with either any of the 3 or a combination of them. And it's a strategy that you need to have. Do you want to file under one category, under a different category, or you want to file by combining different categories, okay? Do not take that lightly, because it really depends on the amount of documents and evidence that you have, and it depends on your relationship with your spouse, the country of origin, and all that, okay? So you can still get the green card. You can get the permanent green card, and we can help you. All right, let's see. How, Jeffrey Kelly, okay, how about someone seeking asylum? How about someone seeking asylum? I'd be happy to answer the question once there is a question. Okay. Mohammed, if my visa will be expired and I submitted I-485 after I-360 approval, can I stay here or leave? That is a great question. So you came to the United States, your visa expired. During this process, it doesn't matter when, okay? And you apply for your 360. The 360 was approved, and then you submitted the 485, and it's pending, right? So if you are in this process, remember this, okay? The visa only allows someone to come to the door of the United States, knock on the door and say, please allow me in. That's it. Once you're in, you no longer really have a visa, you have a status. The minute you applied for the 360, you have deferred action. You are applying for deferred action. You said it was approved. In your case, you have deferred action. So if you do have deferred action, it doesn't matter what the visa says, okay? Not only that, the minute you submit the 485, you are under a period of authorized stay by the Attorney General, coupled with your deferred action, you are totally fine, okay? No, you do not need to leave the United States, nor should you, okay? So hope you don't. All right, a question from YouTube. Hi, I'm a Mexican citizen in Monterrey. Mexico. I just started engineering university and I'm interested in continuing my studies in the US. Can I do this? Yes, you can. All right, so you started engineering university. I do not know yet if that is a bachelor's program or it's a master's degree. So let's assume you are studying engineering and you are going for your bachelor's. Option number one, find a U.S. university where you can transfer your credits and come to school in the United States to finish your engineering degree in the United States. That would mean a student visa for you, assuming you can afford to pay for it or you get a scholarship and you can show that you can support yourself during the course of study. Once you are here, you will have employers willing to have you work for them, OPT, CPT, whatever trainings there are. And some employers, furthermore, after that, they petition for you, okay? So they petition for you to get a green card, they petition for you to get a temporary work visa. But let's say that is not exactly what you want right then and there. At that point, you can continue with another F1 and do your master's degree. Engineering, it's one of those categories, and it's four of them: science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. If you have a degree in one of those four things, it is much easier to get a job and an employer to sponsor you in the United States, okay? So keep that in mind. We're talking student visa, then we are talking perhaps an H-1B, then we could talk, you are from Mexico, the TN visa, the NAFTA visa, it's a very good option for Canadians and for Mexicans. And then we are talking about green cards. Give us a call, we can definitely help you with that. All right, cool. So let's see what else we got. All right, I don't want to miss anybody's question. All right. How do I get to apply for jobs in the United States while I'm in my country? People do it all the time. Day in, day out. If you're following the news, okay, there is a labor shortage in the United States. And there is a labor shortage in the United States for various reasons, which I'm not going to get into right now because I don't want to open that can of worms, okay? There are people from outside the United States who are extremely qualified and who can get these jobs in the United States, all right? You should be able to apply for jobs in the United States on all the job boards online. There will be a question on most boards that will say, are you able to work for any employer in the United States. You cannot say yes because that would be disingenuous. That would not be the truth. You would have to disclose that you will need sponsorship. You would be surprised how many employers are in need of labor right now. And I'm not talking skilled labor, unskilled labor, everyone. That does not mean that every job will qualify or will pass the initial test with the Department of Labor, because the employer has to show that you are not displacing an American worker. They cannot pay you less than they are paying an American worker. Okay, and there is a lot more that needs to follow. Okay, so yes, you can definitely apply for jobs in the United States while you are in your country. That being said, Monster, Indeed, Career Builder, ZipRecruiter, Wise Hire are some of the websites that people have used to get jobs. The higher educated you are, the more likely you will be to be employed if you hire a headhunter. Okay, like a recruiter. And in most cases, you do not pay fees. The employer pays the fees for a headhunter. All right. Let's see. Divine Star, please, I don't have a passport. Can I register when the green card portal is open? It's not a green card portal, it's diversity visa, and you do need to have a passport. How do I get the work visa? It depends on, that's for Heraz, okay? So it really depends. There are various work visas, religious visas, investment visas, E1s, E2, depend on the country. L1 visas, if you already have a business abroad and you want to open an affiliate or subsidiary in the United States. H1B visas for technical workers in general science, technology, engineering, mathematics, doctors, lawyers, and so on. So it really depends. How do you get the work visa? That's a simple Google question. I do not know anything about your education. I do not know about your line of work, how many years experience you have. So I cannot answer that, although I would love to. All right. Let's go. Vaughn, I'm an officer in my country in the Caribbean. I want to move to US and join. I have visiting visa. So you have a tourist visa. Okay. And I don't know if you were here in the beginning. There are 5 ways to get a green card in the United States. So you might want to look into these, and we can help you evaluate those options specific to your particular situation. Because look at my other TikTok. I have one that discusses the minimum information that an immigration attorney needs to have in order to determine if you have option and if we can help you. So you'll understand once I'm going through that why I can't give you too much, but basically speaking, okay, generally for all of you here. 5 ways to get a green card. Asylum, if you're from the Caribbean, depends, maybe unlikely. Diversity visa lottery, for example, I know from the name you are not in Haiti, but let's say you were in Haiti, that would not be an option to apply. I mean, you know, there are TPS. TPS gets you here temporarily, but you need to be here when the law is passed, and you haven't been, you are not here anymore. We have investor visas, employment options, and family options. So if you want to evaluate that, we can help. All right. Kasha, I'm 25 from Ethiopia. How can I apply for asylum since I don't feel safe because of my sexual orientation, I assume? For you to apply for asylum, you need to be either at the border or already in the United States, okay? You might want to look into other options, okay? Asylum, not from there. You can get it from there, but once you're here. All right. You're new here. Good. All right. How can I apply for this opportunity? That's not an opportunity. I don't know. How can I join the immigration of the US? Please, where on the website can I find forms? I don't know what forms. That's a big misconception here. Immigration is not about forms. An immigration attorney does not work for the government. If you are looking for the website where you can get forms to fill out for some immigration benefit, then you go to uscis.gov, okay? And you just Google immigration forms US and it will come up. All right? So hope that helps. When is American lottery for this year starting? If there is going to be one, it will start in October. I just did a TikTok earlier today telling you about that. Could you please mention the sites for applying for jobs again? Those are just some of them, okay? But I'm going to mention them again, Kobe, okay? So, Wise Hire, Monster, Indeed, Career Builder, ZipRecruiter. Try those first, and they have many others, okay? Hope that helps. I'm applying for LoveCorps. I apply for my stepmom and sister visa. Okay, good. So it really depends how she became your stepmom and your stepsister or your regular sister. Hopefully she became your stepmom before you turned 18, okay? Because otherwise that's not gonna work. Vaughn, you are welcome. You are from Guyana. We have people from Guyana all the time. You can also apply to be an au pair nanny. Yes, Mona, excellent. I just can't go into all the jobs, okay? Yes, J1 is the perfect category for people who apply to be nannies or au pairs, okay? And those are good options. You just have to be careful. Not for nannies, because nannies are not subject to the 2-year home residency requirement. But if you are on a J1, okay, then you generally have a 2-year home residency requirement. Not everyone. Do they take money for the diversity lottery? Absolutely not. If there is an agent outside the United States who's taking money from you to apply for the diversity lottery, they are making money and it's not helping you at all, okay? You can apply for this yourself. The only time you wouldn't do it by yourself is if you don't speak English and don't understand the form. Okay? Curtin wants to know, I'm an immigration officer in my country. How can I join the immigration service in the United States? I think one of the requirements is that you have to be at least a permanent resident or a U.S. citizen. And if you want to evaluate the options on how to get to the United States and become a permanent resident, we can help you with that. All right. So I think I've been going on and on and on for about 45 minutes. I hope this was useful to most of you. I see that we are almost done with the questions. So, there is one more. Is there any link or company I can apply as a warehouse clerk? I wouldn't know because it's absolutely impossible for me to know the jobs. You have to look warehouse clerk, Google it, and find an employer willing to sponsor you. Okay? You might want to look also at the H-2B visa. Okay? All right, awesome. Good to see you guys, and I'll see you again hopefully on Friday, but I am not sure depending on my schedule. If I do go live, it's usually at the same time, 3 p.m. Eastern time. All right, see you guys. Bye-bye.